Andie Hagemann and Dan Weber here for USCFootball.com Instant Analysis. Today, Dan, it was a defensive day, but however, the offense was brought up first during the post-practice press conference by Lane Kiffin and, of course, by several USC defensive players. What is it about it that the offense has changed dramatically in this past week?
Well, I think it was the theme of the quote-unquote players only or only players meeting that they had Sunday was that, come back out and play hard, practice hard. And what you're hearing from the defensive guys is that the offense is really competing, and that, they've gone Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And Hayes was saying, I heard him talking over there when we started 9-on-7 in the huddle, and I heard some sound, and he said they came out and they knocked us around. So, he said that was the theme of, there were about 10 guys Sunday that met and kind of tried to say, what do we do now? And the answer was, we go out and practice really hard and compete really hard in practice. So you're hearing the props from both Lane, and I think Lane directed his toward the running backs, and not just Trey. He said, Justin Davis and Buck Allen, who played, really well at Hawaii. He said, we really need to get them, into the game and get all three guys going Saturday. So it was kind of an upbeat. I thought Lane was, much more kind of upbeat, I thought, today than he was yesterday. It just practice had a good feel about it, and it just seemed like everybody feels like they've really had good practices this week. So.
And with Cody Kessler being officially named the starting quarterback, what is there for him to kind of bounce back from these past two games that have been a little bit of rough for him during his appearances?
Well, I think it's a sense of it's his team. We turned it over to you. It's not a case of you're still competing for the team, or if you do something wrong, that the other guy's going to be in there. They're past that now, and so it's his team. For example, if last Saturday happened this Saturday, he doesn't come out of the game to start the second half. I think that really changes. Clearly he said it's changing the way he's approaching practice, the way he's thinking about things, and Lane admitted as much that there's a difference once you pick a guy and make him the guy. It changes the way he plays.
And this week and next week are both noon kickoffs. Do you think this is going to play a factor of having these early kickoffs as opposed to these later games that they've had this past 2 weeks?
Well, I'm guessing USC probably hopes so. I mean, now whether it'll be as hot as it's been, I don't think the Boston College people think they've gotten the word recently that it can really be hot in September in Los Angeles. I don't think they were thinking that thought. So I think they're more ready for how hot it could be. But we'll take today, and if it stays like this the rest of the week, if it would have been a noon game last week, that would have been a very difficult game to play. So we'll see. How I'm not going to predict the weather, but that probably can't hurt USC against two teams from a little more northern climates coming in here.
Thanks, Dan. Dan Weber and Andie Hagemann here for USCFootball.com Instant Analysis. Log on to the site for more.